What's up, guys? My name is Matt, and today we're going to talk about at least the first part of the House of Wolves leak. I said I would be doing this in multiple days because there's so much, but let's talk about this first screen right here. Now, I mentioned the fact that this is the House of Wolves screen, and this will show up when we get House of Wolves, and this whole thing, how it happened, is some guy in Japan, or at least we assume he was in Japan, as a lot of the stuff is in Japanese. He was able to access the House of Wolves somehow, whether it be through time travel or some magic bullshit. I don't know how he did it. He has access to it. He's not telling anyone, but he dumped a lot of screenshots for us. So the first one here, it says, the House of Wolves, a new fallen warlord rises. The Queen, the Queen's fallen have purchased their freedom with awoken blood. Hunt down the traitors, and your debt to the Queen will be paid. Now, if you remember, right down, I guess the whole story is when the Queen says, when I call upon you, you better be there, or whatever she says in that cutscene. It also says that there's a new Awoken storyline plus an exclusive raid, 3 new Crucible maps, a new Fallen Strike, and hundreds of new weapons and armor and gear. So there's that. Now let's move on and talk about the things that are changing in the strikes. Now, the first image he linked is this one right here. It says the House of Wolves expansion required, Vanguard Dragon. This is a level 28 strike playlist. Basically, the same thing that happened in Dark Below when we got Vanguard Rock, we now have Vanguard Dragon. Everything, I'm assuming, all the stats, everything, with the 6 Vanguard marks and the 25 reputation, the Vanguard gear, and I'm assuming the Cryptarch stuff as well, is all moved from Vanguard Rock to Vanguard Dragon upon the release of this. Then we have this image right here. Now this, of course, is the Trader's Catch. We've seen this. I've done a video on this. This is nothing new, but what this does is pushes it a little bit farther into confirmation of being a House of Wolves thing. This was really nothing surprising. When I saw this image, this was pretty set, but at least we know it is on the moon, so there's that. Nothing really out of this came. It's just more of a confirmation that it exists. The next thing was here is the weekly heroic. As you can see, the modifiers are now 24, 30, and 32, opposed to the 26, 30, and 32, opposed to 24, 28, and 30. So there's that. That has changed. That's what's going to change. That's, again, nothing new here. We assumed this was going to happen. If you didn't assume this was going to happen, I don't know how you missed it because it happened in the Dark Below. For the next thing, again, with the strikes, is the weekly Nightfall strike. And again, nothing really new with these, but I did want to cover them and say that it is going to be moving to 32. So there's that. With the House of Wolves, the Nightfall will be moving to 32. And then just another screenshot right here, and again, in Japanese, but regardless, showing that, in fact, the Nightfall is 32. And just one more final screenshot about it is this right here. This one shows I guess he's in the Nightfall and he shows a level 32 enemy, and that's not possible in the game to get anywhere to have a level 32 in there. And what I assume is somewhere on the moon. It's just I haven't seen it before. We haven't seen a level 32 enemy roaming around anywhere. The only place we see level 32s anywhere, actually we don't even, we see him in the raid currently. So at least there's more confirmation he is in a game right there with a level 32 Thrall, or whatever that is, maybe an Acolyte, I can't really tell. I'm not going to zoom in on it and find out. So a lot of these things so far, at least in this first part, is nothing new. Then we have one thing that is incredibly new. This right here. The Arena raid. We knew about the Arena. We knew what it was called, but there's a couple things I want to point out. First, it says it's level 29. Now, is that just a placeholder level? What is that? Is that something that they were talking about? These stats may change, like when Deej said that, or is this something totally different? Now, another thing I want to point about is these right here. It says Light Switch, Angry, and Juggler. Now, note this is the raid. The raid. Light Switch, Angry, and Juggler. Now, again, this could be a placeholder. But what my hopes are, as a YouTuber that talks to Bungie a lot but never really gets a response, I did a video in a Dear Bungie talking about having a weekly raid with modifiers. If this is what that is, I'm gonna love it. But that's my speculation on that. Now again, this could be placeholders, but I really, really hope that there is a raid and then a raid with modifiers, or they just made the raid with modifiers and took my idea, or they had that idea all along. Now, a couple of things on the Reddit post, some things they pointed out were these 3 hexagonal shapes. Now, are those different versions of the raid? Is that something totally different? What is that? A lot of people have no idea. Maybe you have to beat the raid and then those other things unlock. We're not sure. Maybe it's just the design of it, but there was speculation on the Reddit post about that as well. Now, the last thing to not only lead into tomorrow's video, but also point something out is the gear. The gear right here in the Vanguard. One thing I want to point out is it starts at level 30 and goes up to level 39 light. Now, why is that important? Well, if you think about it, the current Vanguard gear starts at 24 and goes up to 33. So if it adds on 6, we're going to only assume that the raid gear will be 42, which pretty much confirms that when we beat the raid and get all the raid gear, we will be 34. With the math and all that, 42 times 4 is whatever. I'm not doing the math right now. It equals enough to be level 34. You can do the math. Just add 11 2 times to the amount of light we have right now to hit level 32, and it's going to equal the same amount as if that was 42. It's crazy. But this will lead into the Warlock gear and everything else tomorrow. I wanted to, again, I want to stress, I want to break this out because there's a lot of things I want to cover, and I want to really get into them and look at what we have. Now, you guys can always go back and look at all the different screenshots. I'll link the Reddit thread in the description again for you guys, so you guys take a look at the Reddit thread, so you guys can get ahead and not have to wait for 4 days before I cover everything. But let me know what you think about these leaks. Let me know what you think about the changes that are going to be happening. Let me know if you like this whole broken down thing, because I'll continue to do this in the future with new things instead of covering all the gear at once or everything all at once. Break it down, make it more simplistic, and have a more broad discussion about a more specific topic, if that makes sense. But as always, I'm going to get out of here, do my outro, do my thing, like, favorite, subscribe if you're new here, like and favorite, comment, whatever, doesn't matter. Anyways, my name is Matt, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.